birds, and side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Hello, everyone. I, of course, am Joe Fury, your favourite Australian, behind Ben Gurvich, Ben McKnight, and perhaps Ben Mendelsohn. Always be fourth, I say, because no matter how good you are, there are always 3 people better. Get over it! That's me practicing humility and gratitude. For instance, I am grateful today for our guest, Dorie Barton, one of my favourite writer, director, actor friends. I am also grateful to Boney, who got me a cup of joe this morning. Here's to you, Boney. And I have an announcement to make. Many of you have been thinking about using our incredible product, Crepe Erase. Well, it has recently come to my attention that there is already a product called Crepe Erase. Yes, so we're in the process of rebranding. The new name of this incredible crepe removal skin invisibility product will be Crepe Begone. Yes, yay! Crepe Begone. Reminds me of a little story. Yes, I read this week on the web about a woman who poisoned her husband by putting Visine in his coffee. Yes, who knew? Who knew that it could kill you, Visine in your coffee? Well, Anyway, let's get on with today's program, featuring the incomparable Dorie Barton, brought to you by Crepe Begone. Watch your skin be gone with Crepe Begone. Crepe away your crepey skin. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 Hello, and welcome to Interview Friday on Lunch Therapy. That was a horrifying story about the woman who poisoned her husband using Visine. I can't imagine that it would be that potent. I mean, doesn't some of it, when you put it in your eye, doesn't some of it go into your, I don't know. Seems like it wouldn't work. But I don't recommend it. Don't drink it. Stay away from Visine. Put it in your eye if you have to. All right, so today we're here, and we've got this incredible guest, Dorie Barton. She's a filmmaker. She's a writer. She's an actor who's been seen in multiple television shows and movies. So I hope you all welcome her here. We're going to breathe, of course, in through the nose, out through the toes. Hopefully this will help Todd's migraine. Hold it and let it go. I'm going to be appearing live at the Federal Bar in North Hollywood next Thursday, or this coming Thursday of next week. There's a link in the show notes if you want to come join me. I'll be getting back out there on the stage, and I'm really looking forward to it. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. One more breath, in through the nose, out through the toes. I'm being all calm today. This is great. I think the breathing is helping. Let it go. So our guest, Dorie Barton, has a new movie out, and it's available on Amazon and on iTunes and wherever you procure your movies. It's called Welcome to the Show. This is the poster, and it is a very, very interesting romp. It's one of those things that makes you think. It doesn't do all the thinking for you, which I appreciate in a movie. And it's well acted and well shot, and she's a real talent. So we're gonna find out how that all happens. Is that Carmel? I don't know. I'm so there. Howard's gonna be there at the Federal. That's great. 10-minute memoir is here. Fun fact: humans need oxygen to survive. Yep, it's true. You can't be breathing carbon monoxide all the time. Their 10-minute memoir. That's Jeff Lohman's YouTube channel, 10-minute memoir. Go there, check it out, subscribe. It's got incredible stories. Now I'm going to show you the trailer for Welcome to the Show, and then I'm going to welcome Dorie Barton to the show, called Lunch Therapy Interview Friday.
So, you've been following a map that doesn't tell you where you are and doesn't tell you where you're going.
Yeah. Oh my God. You are cordially invited to the show. Come ready to play.
We're going to the show!
We can do whatever we want.
Look at you, handsome boy.
Where are we going?
Someplace wonderful.
This is someplace wonderful.
This is the show, okay? We're in it right now. Okay, but how do we even know if they're watching us?
This is the show. We just gotta figure it out.
I don't know if I like this, okay? This feeling that any second something can jump out at us, man. I don't know if I like it.
I guess we'll catch you on the flip side.
There is a show. All right, we're in it. It's happening right now.
I feel like there's something you're not telling us.
Doesn't anybody know anything?
Haven't you figured it out yet? What the show is?
What do you know about the show?
Maybe there is no show!
All right. Welcome to the show, Dorie Barton.
I mean, welcome to the show works for a whole lot of things.
I know I'm going to say it all the time now.
Let's just keep saying it.
I love it. I love it. So
Thank you
this
so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so glad to have you here. Dorie and I went to college together, Cal Arts, multiple millenniums ago. It's so good to see you. I think the last time I saw you in something, I mean, besides on the screen, was maybe like a Greek tragedy in Hollywood or something. Did you do a Greek tragedy in Hollywood?
I mean, that sounds like me.
It sounds like you, doesn't it?
That sounds like, yeah, absolutely. I think I've done a few of those in my life.
Yeah, me too.
There was a time there where, I was doing so many plays that, I could have forgotten when. But I'm pretty sure, some Greek tragedy. Was I naked?
Yeah, I think you were. Don't think you had shoes on.
Oh, okay.
I think there was something about some like foot fetishists that like to go there and watch the show just for the feet. I don't know. Is that possible? Does that ring a bell? Could be somebody else. I don't know. I'm totally making this up. So,
who knows why anyone goes to see a show in Los
Angeles? Who knows? Los Angeles is a strange place for plays, actually, because it has a different kind of quality about it, don't you think?
I love that inside of Los Angeles is this thriving artistic community that just doesn't stop doing theater. Like it's so prolific and talented and creative.
Imagine how many shows are going on in Hollywood on any given night. I mean, it's probably hundreds.
Yeah.
People always talk about LA like it's not a theater town, but imagine it probably has more theater going on than any other town in the world.
Just sheer numbers of humans on stage doing that. Yeah, it's I kind of like that it's a little bit of a secret, but it's strange to me when people, are like, well, of course you don't go to Los Angeles to do theater. I'm like, or you can.
There's
so much of it.
And there's so many great actors here.
So many great actors, so many great playwrights, so many great directors. It's so alive.
And you are living in Richmond, Virginia now.
I am.
So what made you move to Richmond, Virginia? I'm going to start with the end right now because I want to find out. I want to talk about this movie because I watched it and it's really something else. And you're such a talented filmmaker and such a talented writer. And it's interesting that you have gone to Richmond. What brought you to Richmond?
Well, I will say something we were talking about a little bit before the show, that that filmmaking has really become democratized and decentralized.
Yeah.
And you really did used to have to, be in LA, New York, the festival tour that I went on with Girl Flu was so fascinating because I think until then I had that same assumption, well, of course I have to be in LA if I want to do this. And it was so inspiring for me to travel all around America. I mean, I went to the film got accepted. I was just so blessed how many places the film took me to. And, everywhere you go, there's people making movies.
Yeah.
And they're not waking up in the morning feeling sorry for themselves that they didn't wake up in LA.
Yeah.
They're just out there making movies. And it was so inspiring to me. And I was like, wow, I can make movies anywhere. I don't necessarily have to be in LA or anywhere. It comes from me.
Well, it used to be that
Yeah.
all the equipment was here. It was
Right.
really hard to get the equipment because we were shooting on film, and you could
Mm-hmm.
also get a lot of favors here because there were big productions going on, and you could maybe they could help you out,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
piggyback on them. But now it has become much more egalitarian and much more accessible. The only thing that I feel like would be difficult would be the lack of filmmakers around you, the community that you have here. Like here in Los Angeles, you have such a community of people who are DPs, people who are,
Yeah.
ADs and producers and all these people to draw from to help you out. And also to bounce things off of. What is it like in Richmond,
Yeah.
Virginia?
Yeah. I mean, I I think in some ways I've maintained my filmmaker community with, the people that I was already, in conversation with,
Yeah.
and the people that I've really come to rely on to, be great sounding boards and to, be brutally honest with me about how my material's working. And so I had just been living here for just a little bit over a year when this show got started. Welcome to the Show got started. And so the process of making the film, in many ways, was about me finding a community and finding collaborators. And it, started kind of one by one. But I was fortunate enough to sort of stumble across a community that already existed. Some of my students were rooming in a house together. And so two of the actors from Welcome to the Show were rooming in a house with um, uh, the person who ended up, Tyler Shearschmidt, who ended up being my co-editor and doing so much on the film with me, really just like right there by my side through the whole thing. And then another guy that was living in the house, Andrew Beniaski, was he composed the music. So yeah, so Richard Fallon and Dylan Douglason, Andrew Beneski and Tyler Shearschmidt all lived in a house together. So we shot part of the film there. We edited the whole film there. All the music was written there. So yeah, in some ways, the story of the film is about the story of making this community um, for myself. Like I sometimes wonder if I make films just so that I can hang out with my friends.
And
It's kind of,
yeah.
yeah, it's like let's pretend, let's play pretend.
What was your process though? Did you write out a script first? Did you workshop it with the students, or how did you make this
Um,
particular piece?
yeah, it was something that I've been kicking around since I moved to Richmond. Like the minute I
People are really
drove into
curious why
town,
you moved to Richmond. Do you have friends, family there?
my family's close by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not here in town, but yeah, close by. Yeah, that's why. That's why Richmond, Virginia. I had to be close to home.
Yeah.
But I'd never been to Richmond before I moved here, and I completely fell in love with it as a as like a piece of art. The whole city. It's so beautiful, and there's so many beautiful things, and so many juxtapositions and contrasts, and really, there's like this wild river running through the middle of town. And so I knew right away that I wanted to make a movie about Richmond.
Yeah.
And I I really don't. I think, Joel, for a while I'd been wanting to make a film about immersive theater,
Hmm.
and I have some feelings about immersive theater,
Yeah.
um and I'd been wanting to do that, and I was like, oh, if I make an immersive theater show that would take us out into Richmond, then I'll just make a movie about that. And so I had been working on the script for a long time, like a lot of false starts,
Hmm. Hmm.
when you write like 60 pages and you're like, that's crap. Um, and then the other thing too was that I realized that if I was really going to write, oh, I don't know if this is giving away too much for people that haven't seen
Yeah.
it, because I want people to see it. It's hard for me to talk too much about
Yeah.
it.
Well, one of the things
But
about
yeah.
the film is I think it leaves a lot to the viewer. and it asks a lot of questions. It presents a lot of things, and it leaves you, the viewer, to have your own experience with it. It's kind of like art is supposed to be, where you leave it open for people to have their own experience, and it's not just feeding you an experience or manipulating your emotions in a particular way. It's presenting you with things and scenes, and you are having your own emotion about it and having your own thoughts. And even I think at the end of the movie, I'm not giving too much away. I think at the end of the movie, we decide kind of what the movie was about ourselves.
For yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's super cool. And
I wish I could just ask you what you decided, but I feel like
no, I don't want to tell anybody what I decided, but because I want them to have their own experience.
Yeah.
And I think also the idea of immersive theater, is that something that you think at CalArts that you experienced, or something that you loved to do, or you love immersive theater, or is it something you hate, or what is it?
So my first, actually, I don't know if that's totally true, but I think my first immersive theater experience was at CalArts. And it was out I was an actor in this show, and there were several immersive events, but this is the one that I remember really affecting me, is that I was an actor in the show, and it scared, like, what I did and what was happening around me scared the hell out of me. It was somehow so, we're like outside or where.
What was the show? Do you remember?
I don't know if I want to say.
Okay.
Because I'm probably like sworn to secrecy or something, but I also don't want to like make anyone feel like they traumatized me.
Interesting, though.
Like,
you're like sworn to secrecy. There's a lot of secrets on this show today. My wife right now, Kamala, is on a set doing a show, but I can't say what it is. So she's out there doing that. She's got like an NDA or something, I think. I don't know, but she's out there. And then there's this weird secret show at CalArts. CalArts was kind of, I thought I had a lot of immersive experiences there. You know what I mean?
I had a lot.
I was there for the earthquake. Were you there when the earthquake occurred, or were you gone by then?
I was not there during the earthquake.
That was nuts.
I was not there. But I feel like a lot of the shows we did at CalArts were really intentionally, like, for sure, breaking the fourth wall idea. Like, what fourth wall? But but yeah, I mean, I remember doing a show. It was Antigone down in that like dirt gulch place.
Oh yeah, I remember that when you did that.
People would do performance art, Like,
maybe that's the barefoot play that I'm talking about. I don't know. There's a lot of talk about barefoot on our show because we've been doing the show barefoot recently, and the people who watch the show being barefoot. So I don't know why. I mean, people think I have a fetish or something.
Well, yeah.
But I remember that when you did Antigone outside in the dirt, and it was very effective.
Dirt.
Yeah, it was in the dirt.
We carried, like we led the audience down with, torches on fire.
I love that you're telling me about this because there are things at CalArts that I completely forgot about. I don't know. I didn't black them out. It wasn't like I was abused. but I really have. Maybe so much time has passed. We're totally okay. But maybe so much time has passed that I just need something to jog my memory. And I totally that whole thing came back to me and how exciting that was to do outdoor theater like that.
All the parties that we had were all kind of immersive.
Oh my God, yeah. So trippy.
Right?
Yeah. So trippy, even if you weren't tripping, which most of the people were. But still, I remember those parties being, for me, such a sensory overload sometimes in a good way.
Definitely in a good way. But but I think also because we were all literally all artists. Yeah, that line between performance and reality, it's the same as the fourth wall, I feel like our time there was really just kind of about just smashing that, or just
smashing the fourth wall. I remember actually one time we had a production meeting because we were doing a play that was directed by Ferdinand Lewis. I don't know if you experienced
Ferdy,
him, but yeah, so he was
Love
directing a
Ferdy.
play, and we were kind of the people that didn't get cast in the other plays. And so he was directing this
Oh,
play.
right on. I've been in one of those. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we didn't even have a play. We were like writing it ourselves. And I remember one time, one of my best performances was in a production meeting where I decided to,
Wow.
yeah,
Right
what I
on.
did is I brought in a book I brought in the Cherry Orchard, and I tried to perform, I tried to talk only in words from the Cherry Orchard, because I had this crazy concept about the main theater, where the modular theater, someone had
Yeah.
apparently died in there. There was a ghost that was up in the rafters.
Okay.
So I was like experimenting with being that ghost and talking only in place. But anyway, that kind of stuff was just super fun. Like if you were to do that.
And not at all weird, by the way.
No, not at all weird. Even for the production people that were working on it, they're just like, okay, well, that guy's doing that.
Yeah. That's his thing today. I mean,
That's
you
his
also could have
thing.
been naked, smoking a cigarette, and running around screaming like a peacock, and that would have been completely
Totally. Throwing dog food on yourself or something.
exactly just a normal day.
Just a normal day. Oh, Kamala says, I guess she can say that she's doing Hacks. You know Hacks?
Oh,
Have you
great.
seen Hacks?
No,
Super
not
good
yet,
one.
but yes, that's awesome.
It's super fun show.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so now I want to show a clip. No, is it a clip from Girl Flu that I have?
You know, I can't remember what it's going to be.
We're just gonna watch it and see what happens. Because Girl Flu, I love this movie so much. It has Jeremy Sisto in it, and Katie Sackhoff, and Jade Pettyjohn. Is that her name?
Jade Pettyjohn.
That's the girl.
Heather Matarazzo.
Ariana Ortiz, one of our classmates, is in it as well. So there we go. Yeah, see?
Yeah, it's a great cast.
All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is us watching this.
What are you doing here? Are you supposed to be at school?
Not until noon. End of school picnic.
Those always suck.
Mom. It's picnic day. Little Miss Perfect forgot to wear a tampon.
Happy first day of your first period. You were gonna push this thing all the way into your vagina.
She home?
Yeah. I wouldn't.
You can have babies, and if you can have babies, then I can be a grandma.
That's disgusting.
I know!
Do you have any cramps, mood swings?
Mood swings.
Mood swings.
Blood is pouring out of me and you suck.
You are in the rag, and you need to, eat some chocolate or something.
You're terrible at this.
This isn't happening to you.
Who the hell do you think it's happening to?
Can I help you, sweetheart?
Yeah, I want to get my tubes tied. She wants you to have a talk with me, doesn't she? What do they call you? Bird. See you around, Bird. I'm never having kids. I mean, I already have my mom.
I think that deserves some applause. I love that movie. I think it's such a nice little movie that you made about something that, all girls go through. And you did such a great job of it. And that the character of the mom is just, I didn't have a mom like that, but I've seen that mom before. And I know what that's like. And there's probably a lot of moms like that in LA, not, I don't know, particular to LA, but definitely she's really like a sweet person, but she just cannot quite turn the attention off of herself. I guess.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
think
I
there
mean?
is a specifically LA, intentionally kind of, an LA vibe about it. I had people see this movie and, lots of places, who were like astonished and revolted by, no mother would ever treat a child like that. And I was like, have you met people? Like, you need to get out of the house more.
Yeah, I don't want to give
There's
away,
all
but
kinds
she
of
does
people
something towards the end where you're just like, really? You're really doing that? But I can totally see, this person. That seems to be, a thread along the line of what this person might do and then go, what am I doing?
Yeah, she's deeply imperfect, but I think that's always what interests me is people that are, deeply imperfect.
Deeply imperfect. I like that. Do you consider yourself deeply imperfect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
I
most
don't
of us
usually
are
think about
somewhat
myself
that
like
way.
that because I'm super happy, like
Yeah.
just how I am. So I
Yeah.
don't, but I don't think that I think that way specific to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I think about myself that way because I never do. But I think
Not like you're
all
broken or something like that, but the
I'm
nature of
fine.
being a
Yeah,
human is
I
imperfect.
think it's not that Dorie Barton is deeply imperfect. It's that
Yeah.
that is human
The human.
nature. But I also like that there's that sort of idea that, somewhere in that phrase is the idea of wholeness somehow.
Yeah.
But I think we all hold ourselves to such high standards at times that we can, how can we keep up with that? So I think it's good to just accept that humans are flawed. And I think
Yeah.
that, part of why I want to tell stories about deeply imperfect people is because I actually think that it helps, that watching films, reading story, taking in stories about people that are imperfect, I think really genuinely helps build compassion for, other humans on the planet who, yeah, I think anything that builds compassion is worth it.
I was saying the other day that like sometimes you talk to somebody who's in their 20s and you can tell that they're trying to present a front of someone who knows what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't crack. They kind of stay in this zone, but you know that they're not being completely honest with you and they're not being completely honest with themselves because you've just already gone down that road. And
yeah, because I teach at a university now, and
yeah.
I heard one of my students, the other day talking about like old people, I guess,
Yeah, old
which
people.
I am, like comparatively, but like old people. And I was like, I didn't say this, but I was thinking, of course, I probably would have said the same thing when I was their age.
Yeah.
Like old people don't understand what we're going through.
What we're going through.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're get so much. But and I was thinking like, wow, all old people are people who have also been exactly your age and have probably been in a life situation very similar to what you're going through, plus decades of other life experiences that they are now using to contextualize,
Yeah.
what their
Contextualize
youth
that.
was.
Right.
Yeah, it gives it all context. So it's like, old people are just people who have been exactly where you are plus
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Plus life. Plus life.
But of course I would have said the same thing. They're like,
I want to show a clip of you when you were probably at that age. Down with
4.
love. Down with love. 4. Like in your 20s. I think you're probably in your 20s in this thing. This is a funny bit of yours. Yeah, let's take a look.
Are you Catcher Block's secretary?
Yes, Mr. McManus. I'm Sally. I'm new.
They're always new. Get someone from legal up here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have enough of an insecurity complex without worrying about my socks falling down.
What would you say is the average length for most men? How would I know? Do you think I spend all my time in the locker room at the club looking around making a comparative study?
Well, let me see yours again, then. We could measure. I'll get a ruler.
Better make it a yardstick.
Make sure you got it fully extended.
16 inches.
16 inches? How long does a man's hose have to be?
Don't forget, I've got 2 of them.
That is too funny. Uh-oh, no more applause. What? Yeah. You did a lot of comedy and out of school, you did a lot of comedy. You did sitcoms. You did, was that kind of your jam, doing comedy at that time?
it was interesting because I had really, again at CalArts, like did not think I was funny at all for years, and then suddenly got cast in a comedy at CalArts, and I was like, I don't know if I'm funny, but I love this,
Yeah.
And then, but the jobs that I tended to get for a while, just out of school, they weren't funny. And I went through
Really?
like a weird phase of playing sort of victims that like, yeah, just couldn't get it together, and they sort of like weak young women.
Really? So you played a lot of like
Yeah,
ingenue, like weak type women, you think?
there was definitely a streak of like, if you could have some sort of pity for a character, it seemed
Yeah.
like that was a good Dorie Barton role. Um, but then, yeah, I started doing comedies, and it was just, oof, it felt so good. It also, doing sitcoms,
Yeah.
because of, how they're shot with
Hmm.
the, um, when
Theatrically.
the audience and
Yeah.
all of the moving cameras and all of the producers and the crew, like there's so much energy coming right at you, and you're shooting in that proscenium style, and so yeah, I felt very at home.
At home. You know, you did that. Okay, so maybe people don't know about this, but you did the show Stark Raving Mad. I want to show a clip from that as well with Tony Shalhoub.
So cute.
It's so cool.
How was your day?
Good.
Anything special happen?
No?
So the woman my friend Carol Blankenship saw you talking to outside Bergdorf's at 1:07 p.m. wasn't special?
On Christmas, my parents were actually there. We'd have this wonderful day, and then we'd all gather around the piano and sing Let It Snow. And you know what? It always did.
How could it snow every single Christmas?
Daddy rented a machine.
That's hilarious. So that's super fun. So you did that show for a while. How did you like grow as an actor in doing that, or what was your experience in doing a sitcom?
I mean, that was just I don't think anything makes you a better artist than working with better artists than you.
Yeah. Oh.
And so I did feel really, everybody made me feel super at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thrilled every day I was on that set. But yeah, everybody was
What a team too. I mean,
on
these
their
people
A
that.
game. What a team!
Yeah,
What a
I mean,
team.
great actors, and then also great producers of that show
The
too. I mean, some of the
producers
people
were
like.
just, yeah, and the actor. It was quite an amazing show. It was a really wonderful. I feel really, really blessed. I got to have that experience and work with those people and have that kind of, rapid fire knowledge building of,
Mhm.
what it's like to thrive in that world. And I also liked that there was, like a slightly competitive edge. I mean, it's
Totally.
comedy.
And it's also, it seems like it's a little
Yeah.
more, it's a little bit like more like a sport when you're
It
doing
felt,
something
yeah,
like that, because it's
yeah,
so like
yeah.
you're like passing the ball around essentially.
Oh yeah, you're playing basketball really fast, with
Yeah.
LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Yeah. It's just wow. Yeah, I love that. I love that basketball feeling, and I love that like healthy competition. Yeah, because you're on the same team,
Yeah.
but you make each other better.
Yeah. That's really great.
Yeah, I loved that whole experience.
When you make a film, you don't put yourself in it. I mean, you're in it in small parts, the two movies that you've done. Did you write Girl Flu for yourself at first and then decide like maybe that was too much to do? Or because that's definitely a role you could have played. Kate Sackhoff did a great job. I mean, she did an incredible job in that
Yeah,
role,
Katie
but you would have
Sackhoff
too.
is wonderful. I did honestly sort of start with myself as a model, though, it's like I didn't have a mother like that, nor am I really, I am not a mother. It's not really me. I think I definitely thought that might be, I just really wanted to make a movie.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I wrote myself a part, that I could cast that part. And that
Yeah.
with enough, energy and momentum and ambition and whatever, like that I just really wanted to get it made. I'm much, much, much happier in the end that Katie Sackhoff played that part, and that,
Yeah.
that our wonderful producers, David Wilson and Jay Lowy came in, and Paul Schiff and Rich Hall, and just like built this whole thing. And I'm really grateful that I got to have that experience at working at it at that level, and that for my first film as a director, that I was not also directing myself. I know people do it all the time. I know people do it beautifully. For me, I really was just so in love with being able to watch the image, and I wouldn't have gotten that had I been in it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I really would have learned how to just be a director.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a huge, huge job. How did you get people on board with that film? Like, you wrote it. Did you got producers that came in, and did you also produce that film too? Or did you get producers?
Yeah, the producers came in. The script I had worked on to the point where I was happy with it, and I was looking for a way. Like, I think it would have been made at that time, somewhere in that time, like one way or another. It just it had sort of gotten to the place where it needed to come into being. But I was very lucky to be supported by the producers.
Yeah, it's a beautiful film. And also this film, this Welcome to the Show film, is so professionally done too, to be able to do that. You're kind of a masterful filmmaker. Are you looking towards making more films, or what are you looking towards doing in the future? More acting, more films, or both, or what do you?
Yeah, I can't wait to make the next film. I really just, I mean, there's something about the model of Welcome to the Show. Yeah, so just to kind of like backtrack to the beginning of the show. I had been writing this story, wasn't really gaining traction to the point where I was happy with it. Met these young actors that I was teaching in my acting for the camera class at VCU, where I teach acting for the camera. And I met these guys, and I suddenly knew who the film was, or who the story was about.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll make it for them. And then they'll be the show. And that's how it got built out.
It seems like sorry, I don't want to stop your flow.
But, no.
But it seems to me that what you're doing is a great service also to students, because, as students, we were not necessarily taught to make products. A lot of times. Right. So a lot of times when we came out of school, we were not in the gear of making products. We were more in the experimental, like, let's see what happens kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, that's the whole show business part of it. And to give somebody this kind of a gift that you've given to these students, that now they star in this really well-made film, it's like moves their career forward, right?
Well, I mean, I think that's, we were also not in a place where what was within our, means was to make like we were making, theater in dirt and gullies, and I'm very, very glad if this piece of art that I made helps advance their careers, because I think they're wonderful, and I want, them to be famous movie stars. But I consider it a very mutual quid pro quo. I feel like they gave me such tremendous performances, and they trusted me implicitly. They fully showed up every day. They said yes before there was a script. I was like, you guys want to make a movie? Do you think we should make a movie for the Thanksgiving holiday? And they're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, cool. Whatever you want.
Sometimes women directors say that it's hard for them to be the authority on the set. Do you ever have that trouble? I mean, where people will treat you in a lesser way than they might a man. Does that ever happen to you?
I
Has
have
that ever happened to you?
I have also heard that from some other female directors,
Yeah.
but no. Mm-mm.
Oh, good.
I've never
Do you think that's
experienced
changing
that
for directors, women
personally.
directors?
I really do. I mean, I think that part of the reason just more and more women are directing
Yeah.
all the time, which is fantastic. Films, but like really in television, huge huge effort to giving women equality in that position, which is so crucial. So I do think it's probably happening less. I hope so. Partly because it's no longer as rare.
Yeah.
But I also going back to Stark Raving Mad, I feel like I probably would have come to directing sooner if I had seen women directing, and I really didn't work with women as directors. But Stark Raving Mad, Gail Mancuso was one of the directors. She directed a few episodes, and I was like, wow, women direct, huh? Okay. So that she sowed a seed of possibility in me, which was wonderful.
Did you have any other mentor type people along the way that have helped you grow?
I truly, really have had no mentors.
Mm-hmm.
I have had no mentors. I always kind of wondered about that, like why that didn't really happen for me. That's not to say that there were not people that helped me.
Yeah.
I had many, many wonderful people. I have had, still have, always have people that helped me. But no, I really just made movies my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
I just obsessively consume film.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to end the interview now because we're running out of time.
Oh, okay.
But I want to say
it's been so nice to talk.
Thank you so much for being on the show. It's been a real treat. I'm going to subject you to the dance break at the end where we're going to play. I find somebody on the internet who I think is playing a cover song that I really enjoy. This is related to your movie, of course. And it's called The Dance Break. And you can dance, you can just hang out, you can do whatever you want. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Thanks again for being on the show, Dorie.
Thank you so
All right. This is a song, and I'm going to bring Dorie on here, who, this is a song that is called Karn Evil 9 First Impression Part 2, which I had no idea.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend.
Guy singing
Come
it.
inside, come inside.
This is, of course, Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Behind the glass stands a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along, move along. Come inside, the show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart. Rest assured you'll get your money's worth.
Thanks, everybody, for being here today.
You gotta see the show.
Lunch Therapy, Interview Friday.
You gotta see the show.
Welcome to the show.
It's rock and roll.
You can see Welcome to the Show on Amazon, iTunes, wherever you get your films, and also Girl Flu. Thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you, Joel.
All right, see you later. Let's see.